So, it's going to get a little Eldritch in here. We're going to start shaping the course of our late night sessions to be more atmospheric things. Less about shooters, more about, I don't know, more creepy isn't the right word, but Eldritch is. That's what we're calling it, Eldritch Evenings. So I never play a ton of Darkest Dungeon. It did a lot of really interesting things. I liked the how it handled sanity, like a lot of Lovecraft games do. How it handled the dungeon crawling, how punishing it was. So I figured maybe we'll start a campaign, pick away at it from time to time on the stream. I don't have any of the DLC yet. Last time I played it, there wasn't DLC. I haven't dug too deep into if it's worth picking up. If this is a thing we do a lot more of, maybe we'll do that. So let's get started and see how far we can get tonight. That looks weird. That's because it is weird. There we go. Magic. Okay. We're gonna start a new one because this was one that I've been kind of picking away at, and I don't remember most of the. Let's see. We'll go normal. Mostly because I like to judge a game by what the devs intend, not necessarily what's easy.
You will arrive along the old road. It winds with a troubling serpent-like suggestion through the corrupted countryside, leading only, I fear, to ever more tenebrous places. There is a sickness in the ancient pitted cobbles of the old road, and on its writhing path you will face viciousness, violence, and perhaps other damnably transcendent terrors. So steel yourself, and remember there can be no bravery without madness. The old road will take you to hell, but in that gaping abyss, we will find our redemption.
It's definitely one of those cutscenes. If you put a goofy voice on it and like yakety sax in the background, lose like 80% of its gravitas. But it's more of a general thing than specific to this particular game. Alright. So this is going to be tutorial / reminder stuff, but I feel like it's important because I don't want to. This is a game you don't want to mess up in. You want to know what you're doing and not get your failure should not be from ignorance.
Brigands have run up these lanes. Keep to the side path. The hamlet is just ahead.
Or a small cache hamlet. Back and back.
Dispatch this thug in brutal fashion, that all may hear of your arrival.
remember if the stats were as prevalent as they are here. It's interesting that they're, yeah, alright. Right, these are the slots that they can be used in.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. Leave nothing unchecked. There is much to be found in forgotten places. An ambush. Send these vermin a message. The rightful owner has returned, and their kind is no longer welcome.
The thing I'm not clear on, and I don't remember if this was a issue before, was the turn order.
Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
To see the little pips that come up.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. Welcome home, such as it is. This squalid hamlet, these corrupted lands, they are yours now, and you are bound to them.
A lot of things to do. Say you have to. I do remember you have to build up to use the buildings.
In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
Okay. Reynauld is my crusader. They're not letting me edit my inventory yet.
Most will end up here, covered in the poisoned earth, awaiting merciful oblivion. Women and men, soldiers and outlaws, fools and corpses. All will find their way to us now that the road is clear. Madness and morbidity.
I'm not sure. I'm trying to think of when I played this, if it was still in early access or not. Level 6, okay, gotcha.
The cost of preparedness, measured now in gold, later in blood.
Be curious, be careful. Those are good advice. That's good advice in general. Probably because they're already stressed.
A handsome reward for a task well performed.
Thanks. Totally opened the shit out of that torch.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. Another one falls. Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
I don't think I grabbed the treasure before. And when I was in the initial task in the forest. It's awkward.
Even the cold stone seems bent on preventing passage.
Nice.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive. The slow death. Unforeseen. Unforgiving. Back to the pit.
I always did find that a touch awkward to how you would have to give it a destination, yet you could still sort of shimmy back and forth. I don't know. I know why they kind of did that way, but I remember that always felt just a little clunky. Hello, friends. I was surprised as they are. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it's. I just wish it was a little clearer how turn order was established. That's all.
Confidence surges as the enemy crumbles.
I mean, most incantations that deal with the Elder Gods are probably stressful, to be honest.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter. As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Yes. Torch. Another example, a good example of a game that does its best to give you as much information as possible to let you make the best decisions you can. Awkward.
Cruel machinations spring to life with a singular purpose. A fortune
Because
waiting to be spent.
there are definitely games that yeah, eat up. There are definitely games that will put you in a position to make choices, and especially, luckily in this kind of game, they're not time sensitive, but it's good to give as much information to the player as possible so they can. You know, like, nothing feels worse than feeling like you screwed up but not knowing why, right?
Without tools of iron, you must
Stressful
rely
to
on
dig through
flesh
that.
An indefatigable purpose.
Already feeling stressed. Oh, her heal doesn't only work if she's in the back. Well, that's awkward. read this and suffer. This is, I assume, the gist of what's happening there. Oh, I should probably use the corpse killer
Fate
thing.
is the weapon that cuts on its own.
Oh.
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
Done. Just run my hands through my collected treasure. Oh, if he's fearful of Eldritch, this is gonna be a long game for him.
You answered the letter. Now, like me, you are a part of this place. Fresh kegs, cards, and curtained rooms promise solace to the weary and broken alike.
Right, so you couldn't.
With enough ale, maybe they can be inured against the horrors below.
You don't hear inured as often as you should. So there isn't a downside. It doesn't cost money, right? You can just have them, which is
Gold
you want.
gleams like a dagger's point.
You want the surplus, especially as they get a little tense.
The cobwebs have been dusted, the pews set straight. The abbey calls to the faithful.
Sure. Right, so that it are different currencies to give us different upgrades for the various buildings. All right. Like Ormond is a gentleman who would enjoy a drink. Is that a... I see. He will only visit the broth. That's fair. I mean, fair in that that's what he wants to do. How about a judge? Okay. So we're basically just doing runs. Okay. And again, we have all the information we need. It's just a matter of kind of weighing the options. I want to check one thing in regards to. Yes, the lack of turn order is described as being for stress purposes. So I understand that. So he's definitely up front, which we were trying to do with him. Actually, I should see. Yes. He wants to be towards the back. Like, so we need another long range.
Must be driven back. And what better place to begin than the seat of our noble line?
Okay, so you can. See,
Is the trap maker's art.
that just feels
His efficacy unwitnessed by his own eyes.
bad. I guess some. Like, how would I avoid that? Is it a skill? It just feels bad. Some app. You know, like, I guess some classes have a way of dealing with it. It just feels bad to take damage for no. Oh, I thought that was a single target heal, not a individual heal. Get scrolled. You know, I keep throwing that wine in my face, and we'll see how it goes.
As the enemy crumbles. Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Tell these corpses about this scroll I want them to read.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all.
Alright, take it easy. That's the plan.
A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Quest complete. No, we're gonna keep on the adventure. Oh, that's why I... We'll splash the bubbly. Miss dodge. Sweet. Feels good.
Press this advantage. Give them no quarter. As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
As I recall, you can like level up the healing. You can like level up all the skills with just with time. Let's tell these corpses about the good word.
Close in. The shadows whisper of conspiracy.
It still burns after
Remind yourself that overconfidence is a slow and insidious killer.
I think we're good to leave. Slow and steady.
Bones return to rest. Devils remanded to their abyss. In time, you will know the tragic extent of my failings.
In time.
The bellows blast once again. forge stands ready to make weapons of war. Make no mistake, we will face ever greater threats. Our soldiers must be ready. Some may fall, but their knowledge lives on.
That is an interesting. It's another chance thing that you may be trying or expecting to be able to use a certain facility during a week, and the caretaker happens to be there. It's another kind of just slight little. It's a slight dagger twist in the game. Like, if, yeah. Enjoy your drinks, my lady. Fedora, tip of the fedora. Oh, I did actually upgrade anything. Oh. Well, we'll come back to that. Everyone can prefer to be in spot 3.
trace out the halls of your lineage once familiar. Now, foreign.
Looks particularly painful. Pickaxe to the chest.
A dizzying
Ow.
blow to body and brain. Prodigious size alone does not dissuade the sharpened blade.
It's a shame that doesn't distress things though.
Slowly, gently. This is how a life is taken. As the fiend falls, a faint hope blossoms.
Wait, why? Why did she just suddenly... Oh, I see. Sure. But now it'll trigger again, so that wasn't very smart.
Gnawing uncertainty. The birthplace of dread.
It's accurate.
Well struck. Soothed. Sedated. Another one falls.
Yeah, she might need to be closer to the front in the future. Or to the
As the
closer
enemy
back.
crumbles. The abyss returns even the boldest gaze.
awkward.
Continue the onslaught. Destroy them all. Press this advantage. Give them no quarter.
Oh, that answers my question about traps. That's fair. It's fun. Oh, so yeah, I didn't put that together. That interesting. Hmm.
Death
Ow.
waits for the slightest lapse in
We all see a crit and we get a little freaked out.
Their formation is broken. Maintain the offensive.
Well,
Reeling, gasping, taken over the edge into madness.
that was my one of my own guys. I was like, you just yeah, anyway.
victories mount, so too will resistance.
Cool. Things are trapped. Like, the whole like, so roots in rooms can have chests and bookcases and curios and things that might be trapped. So we can assume that there's a chance I can see there's a trap there. Is the decision that, oh, I'm in such a state right now that I don't even want to push it, versus the chance that I'll get stuff that'll help me, or like, I don't know, I don't see the decision point. It just seems like, why wouldn't I keep doing it? Other than just skipping everything and not getting any loot, just so I don't maybe get, it's, I don't know, it's one of those gamified things that it feels less good about in general. Like, what you get should certainly be randomized.
Now it must be carried home.
But like, I mean, you know, there are going to be ways I can interact with things, I guess, but I don't know.
Glittering gold, trinkets and baubles.
Wobbles.
Paid for in blood.
I don't have a key.
Circle in the dark. The battle may yet be won. Darkness holds dominion, black as death.
It's a really cool. I didn't do much of camping in the when I played it. It feels cool. just a little. So it's gonna be poison there, I'm guessing. Yep.
Dazed, reeling, about to break. Executed with impunity. A trifling victory, but a victory nonetheless.
Stress. Ooh, goody. Yeah, it's not worth doing. There's when he's the size of two eggs.
A death by inches. The slow death, unforeseen, unforgiving.
No indication what that means though. It's kind of unfortunate. What does irrational mean?
Annihilated. Seize this momentum. Push on to the task's end.
How is she so... Alright.
Another abomination cleansed from our lands. Self-preservation is paramount at any cost. Be gone, fiend.
Of course, he gets one last attack before he dies.
This expedition at least promises success.
Yep. Just constantly.
Those who covet injury
See, this is what.
find
It's just
no
a
short supply.
constant burden of. Whatever. Great. And I'll say she's dead before I get a chance to do anything with it.
Great is the weapon that cuts on its own. Injury and despondence set the stage for heroism or cowardice. Monstrous size has no intrinsic merit, unless inordinate exsanguination be considered a virtue. Success so clearly in view. Or is it merely a trick of the light?
Cool.
The walls close in. The shadows whisper of conspiracy.
I mean, I have to, because otherwise they're gonna.
Great adversity has a beauty. It is the fire that tempers.
And the thing I found, right? And the equipment. Yeah, this was kind of my problem with this game. Is it's just like I understand they're doing
The
a
hamlet is nothing, I fear, when compared to
just
the
kind of grinding you
traditions of
down, but
gamers.
when it feels like you're, especially in the early going, when it feels like your progress is basically, going to shit. You're like, well, even in a game that's supposed to be about stress and grinding, the uncaring darkness, it's still nice as a game. You still want to make it feel like you're doing progress and not like just punch in the face without having any recourse.
A lawman and his faithful beast. A bond forged by battle and bloodshed.
Okay, I think it's good to do it. I might pick this a little more. I try to find. I find like 70% of it fun, 20% of it really fucking annoying, and then the last 10% I was undecided. So I don't know. But yeah, thanks for watching Heated. We'll be back tomorrow.